Asian Forum for Human Rights and Development.
Vice President, we acknowledge Bhutan's acceptance of 124 out of 203 recommendations in its fourth UPR. Bhutan's failure to accept 68 recommendations, in particular those related ethnic minorities, statelessness, political prisoners, and refugee repatriation, underscores Bhutan's unwillingness to genuinely address this long-standing human rights concern. Systematic discrimination against ethnic Nepali-speaking Bhutanese continues. Their language remains banned in schools, their land seized and redistributed, cultural symbols erased, and citizenship revoked, rendering many stateless. The rejection of recommendations on improving prison conditions and release of political prisoners alongside false claims of international monitoring demonstrate Bhutan's intention to continue the unjust detention of political prisoners. The last International Red Cross visit was in 2012, and the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention last visited in 2019, both under government-controlled conditions. Despite repeated denials of the existence of political prisoners, the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention recently determined that the continued imprisonment of 3 individuals constitute arbitrary detention. The Working Group concluded that their detention is without legal basis for exercising fundamental freedom, in denial of their rights in a fair trial and due process, and is based on discriminatory ground. This reflects the reality of all political prisoners in Bhutan. Similarly, 6,500 out of 120,000 Bhutanese refugees forcefully evicted in early 1990s remain stranded in Nepal, waiting for dignified return. Not a single refugee has been repatriated. We call for urgent action to grant amnesty to all political prisoners in Bhutan, repatriate Bhutanese refugees with dignity, those willing to go back, restore revoked citizenship, resume Nepali language education, establish an independent National Human Rights Commission, grant tourist visas to resettle foreign Bhutanese to visit their families. These actions are not just necessary, they are crucial for justice and human rights in Bhutan. The gravity of this
opportunity to respond to some of the observations and comments made from the floor. An unfounded narrative that is being disseminated is the issue of so-called political prisoners and related allegations against Bhutan. As everyone is aware, laws of a country inform everyday life, and laws mainly serve the principal purposes of establishing standards, maintaining orders, resolving dispute, and protecting liberties and rights. Similarly, Bhutan's laws also fundamentally serve these 4 principal purposes. This group of prisoners are those who committed serious seditious crimes and acts of terrorism against the state and were sentenced lawfully based on the gravity of their crimes. My delegation rejects any allegation of discrimination in Bhutan on the basis of ethnicity. Bhutan's constitution and laws make no distinction between the people along ethnic lines, sex, language, religion, and politics or other status. However, certain groups with vested interests continue to float untrue narratives and accusation of discrimination and denial of rights against my country. When such false narratives find a place on the important agenda, these narratives render our dialogue far from being constructive and meaningful. What is most concerning is the effort made to perpetuate the narrative of different ethnicities in Bhutan and discrimination against a particular group by various self-serving groups and individuals. Apart from perpetuating the divisive intent by falsely identifying a particular group as being discriminated against in Bhutan, today it serves no other purpose. Mr. Vice President, distinguished delegates, as I conclude my statement, I wish to inform that as a result of concerted efforts made over the decades, Bhutan has made advancements in various aspects of human development as evident through our Human Development Index score, which improved from 0.581 in 2010 to 0.681 in 2022, placing Bhutan in the medium HDI category. Similarly, Bhutan has reduced multi-dimensional poverty from 12.7% in 2012 to 2.1% in 2022.